Things Delmarva.
Good Sunday morning. I'm Emily Lump, and you're watching Good Things Delmarva, a show where we take a look at all the great things that are happening in your area. And joining me right now is Phil Chung. He's working with the Ocean City Chamber of Commerce to tell us about the 2012 United Christmas Spirit Campaign. This is just a great event. I know about it, but you're here to explain all about it. Kids being able to shop for Christmas. It's just a great program. Tell us how it all started.
Well, it all started with one of my most fondest memories as being a member of the Salisbury Junior Chamber of Commerce, in that they have a shopping tour here in Salisbury. But as my family grew and my career grew, I've got deeper roots into Ocean City and became involved with the Greater Ocean City Young Professional Committee, which similar circumstances for the Junior Chamber of Commerce, for an organization for the younger professionals to develop leadership and organizational skills. But we also wanted to have a component where it was a charitable giving, community volunteer primarily focus. And
there are a lot of aspects to this. Just to explain to folks how this works, you take in donations for the shopping trip, is that right?
That's correct.
And last year was about $3,500?
Last year was $3,500, $100 per child, and we invited 35 children.
Where do you find these kids? How do they qualify?
We have a lot of personal nominations. We reached out to schools, we reached out to churches, and one of the United Christmas Spirit Campaign objectives is to strengthen the ties between the community, the business community, and the faith community. And so we were able to use all of those objectives to be able to come up with one program and just build on the simple idea of let's do something for kids for Christmas.
Well, like we were talking about during the break, we were talking about how, you know, it's really great to be able to teach kids who are very deserving and really need to be helped to be able to have a great Christmas season or a holiday season, to be able to say, you know what? It's not about just receiving the gifts. It is also very much about giving and teaching them how to go out and shop for their families and their siblings, and that's what you do. So you give them about $100 each to just go shopping. Is that right?
That is the goal for the program, to give them $100. And we've had some great stories. Just in the 1 year that we've done this, we've had some kids that have bought gifts. We've had them wrapped, and the kids didn't even realize it was for them, and then on Christmas morning they had them to open. Oh. We had kids who were wanting to buy gifts for their grandmother, their other brothers or sisters that weren't invited for one reason or another, different schools. But just for that outpouring of, you know, sharing, and I like to also think about, from the volunteer standpoint, that it's easy for us to write a check for a donation or to buy a toy and drop off into a collection box, but to give of your time, 2, 3, 4 hours at that early in the morning.
6 o'clock, right?
6 a.m. Yes, but it is a different, unique way to make another contribution and be able to see the face of giving from the receiver and the giver side.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, because it is important to note that you do look for volunteers out in the community, the business community specifically, to help with this program and take these kids shopping. How do you go about that process of picking volunteers out of the business community?
We have, Ocean City is a great community and will step up for any cause, and so that's not any shortfall by any means for our problem for this program, right. But what we choose to do is to have them pre-registered to become a certified chaperone, because there's going to be many different aspects that we can use chaperones, either if it's matched up, walking with a child to make sure that they're getting all of the accessories they need for a gift that they purchase, batteries, safety equipment for bikes. We have volunteers that are going to be wrapping gifts, volunteers that just simply load the toys up on the back of a truck and take them to a drop-off point, because these children come to us and their parents let them come to us without any parent supervision. So we have our chaperones that step in to do all those many aspects for making sure that that their children are safe, that they're having a great time, and then also the component that we show for leadership, that these kids can hopefully have a little piece they can take away with them as they grow.
Well, last year you raised about $3,500 to help 35 kids, but this year it's $5,000 to help 50 kids. So what do you need from the community? If people want to help in terms of volunteering, like you were saying, or people are interested in nominating a child, where do they go with that information?
We have many, many volunteers that stepped up. Last year it was 2 of us that pretty much pulled the whole thing together in about 6 weeks. But we have many, many volunteers, and they can reach to the Chamber of Commerce, Ocean City Chamber of Commerce. Their phone number, I guess it can be Googled. But the Chamber of Commerce will put you in a point of contact to myself, and then we can make sure that the requests are handled appropriately.
Well, you can't not find it. Ocean City Chamber of Commerce on the internet. Definitely get in contact if you'd like to help out. Thank you so much for joining us, and we have much more coming up on Good Things Delmarva. Stay with us.